everyone, and welcome to the 6.5 Summit AI Unleashed. I'm Tiffani Bova, and I am joined today by the man, the myth, the legend, otherwise known as Sanjib Sahoo. He is the president of Global Platform Group at Ingram Micro for the ecosystems track today. Welcome, Sanjib.
Thank you so much. A pleasure to be here.
Well, look, I don't know if many people realize that Ingram Micro touches like 90% of the people on this planet when it comes to technology, and has for like the last 4 decades.
Yep.
When you look back and think about there being this inflection point of being a technology distributor that had to embrace digital, what do you think was the moment where it was like, hold on a second, this is just not some transition. This is definitely where the market is going. And now we find ourselves at this inflection of AI. What do you think Ingram's position is now?
I think Ingram is at an inflection point and becoming a platform business, right? But if you think about, we had been in business for more than 4 decades, that you said, and we didn't own anything. We connected the amazing technology brands with all the resellers, reaching out to almost 90% of the world's population. The idea was that if we could embrace digital and create that experience between our resellers and the OEMs and the technology companies better, that's what we wanted. That's how we started embracing the digital mindset and starting the platform journey. And rest in the next few quarters, we started iterating step by step.
Yeah, and I want to double click there because digitizing and digitization and digital transformation is a mindset change, not just a solution or an outcome. And where do you think there's opportunity for the ecosystem, if you will, to understand that the mindset really has to keep pace with what's going on technologically?
Absolutely. A lot of transformations fail because you know what you know and you do not embrace change. And sometimes to become who you want to be, you have to let go who you are. And that's hard. We always focus on the art of impossible versus the art of possible. Our mind tells us that, no, this is working well. We are a successful company. So why change? Why do you change everything that you have done for a long time? So the technology evolves and you build amazing technology. But if it is not adopted, it will not work. So one of the things we did was create something called as operating model, DGOps, operationalizing digital, because adoption is not an option. You have to continuously build, evolve, capture value, and move on. And most importantly, make small wins and change the mindset.
Well, you've been involved in this digital transformation for a long time. Mm-hmm. And you almost historically, as an individual, Sanjib, right, looked at legacy businesses that have gone a traditional route and said, hold on a second, like technology is going to be moving, whether it's financial services or banking, and now in distribution. Do you see correlations in industries where they're more open to embrace these digital transformations?
I think every industry has to adapt to transformation. Digital transformation is a name, but ultimately every organization is focusing on driving top line, optimizing bottom line, and moving fast in the market. The best transformation is when you don't call it a transformation. It's not a project, it's a DNA. Tell me one company that do not want a DNA that can adapt and pivot to market changes, can really create value, and can understand their customer experience. And that is transformation. So digital transformation is using digital technology to fuel that journey. And some companies do it better than others. Some companies do not change faster because, of a lot of, legacy and traditional businesses. But I think, Tiffani, every company should really have transformation in their DNA, where you actually focus on the art of possible. You focus on how do you continuously change.
And what do you believe distribution's role, Ingram Micro specifically, is in helping the channel ecosystem make this pivot themselves, using kind of being their own client zeros, if you will? Like, I don't believe that partners or the ecosystem sells technology. I believe they sell change, and change is super hard. And so what are the things that Ingram is really investing in to make sure that these partners stay on this journey?
This channel sells a lot of amazing technology. Do we use that technology in our business? Do we use data, AI, cloud to really create a better partner experience or a better vendor experience? What we are doing at Ingram Micro is using technology. And it's not just talking about AI and technologies. We started this journey with Xvantage, 3 years ago. But using this technology and starting with the journeys, understanding the problems, and trying to create a better partner experience. Can you actually have a platform for every single persona? Can you solve special pricing? Can you have hardware, software, cloud in a single order ticket? Billing, there's traditional issues that are in this industry. If we can solve them using technology, partners are freed up to grow their business better with the insights that we give. Similarly, for the vendors. So our role is to connect the 1,500 vendors that we work with the hundreds and thousands of resellers that we have reaching out to almost 90% of the population, have a seamless, better connectivity and make them connect better so that everybody gets value in this ecosystem. That's where Ingram Micro can play a huge role in the channel.
And how are you reimagining value creation, especially with Xvantage? I think that's a great platform and springboard for this value creation for the channel.
And Xvantage is not a tool that supports a distribution business. It is a platform that's making us a platform business. So when I talk to our partners and our vendor partners, say partner with a platform. Imagine the possibilities together, from PDF to SKUs, from integrating months to minutes, from solving complexities, taking OpEx out, having hardware, software integrations in one single platform. Reimagine your business with the power of platform. And that is where Xvantage is helping. The platform can understand and adapt to the changes. It's a new way of integrating with us. And that's where we are super excited about creating value in the ecosystem.
And the role on that platform of AI, how and where are you integrating that on both sides, right? So you're doing it, I'm going to guess, internally, right, to help the platform, but also
Absolutely.
externally for the ecosystem.
Interestingly, Tiffani, when we started the Xvantage journey, we started with a foundation of data and AI. We had more than 40 years of data. The first thing I did was to hire a chief data officer and told him to build a real-time data mesh and an AI factory. Most of the mistakes companies do is jump on AI and find a problem to solve. We started Xvantage with the foundation of AI and data, and then from that created engines that took friction out, and now we are speeding the go-to-market and solving problems. For example, if you are creating a complex code using data and automation, you are doing it in minutes and seconds. You are taking a complex catalog and converting it to our SKU format, you're doing it in seconds. You're doing integration from months to minutes. All this is the data and the AI that we have that is helping us. That's the power and the backbone of Xvantage platform.
What do you think the greatest or most significant, I should say, missed opportunity is for the channel when it comes to Xvantage, the platform, and all you're exposing from data and analytics?
I think number one is do not look at Xvantage as just a tool to do distribution. Do not think about, okay, this is another tool we should log in to do our business, get updates. I think the opportunity is reimagine your business as a partner with the power of a platform. And the platform is not perfect. We are building it. In the last 2.5, 3 years, we have put in more than 32 million lines of code. We have more than 30 patents. We are replicating 300 million messages every day. We have 4 petabytes of data. We have brought in engineers, and we are working on it. And we are solving problems. It's not perfect. But we are approaching our partners and our vendors and asking, what are the most complex problems you have? And how can we solve problems? And if you do not approach the way that the platform can solve problems, you will miss out. For example, we are talking to some vendor partners creating a data store with AI to push recommendations, build joint recommendations to the partner base or SMBs. We are looking at some of the customers to partner together, take their OpEx, improve their OpEx and go to the market. We have a certain cybersecurity vendor we recently integrated where the platform is actually their back end and helping us, to grow their business. There are multiple ways you can integrate with the platform. It's not single way. I think that's what the missed opportunity is. Understand the power of a platform because the channel has to change. The whole world is changing. How do we cater to that change using the power of the platform?
What partners are getting it right? I don't need names necessarily unless you want to share it, but two things I'd ask on that is what is the persona of those partners that are really leveraging it? Because what you just described is something that a channel partner most likely would never invest in on their own.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm going to eat, and be my customer zone, one, I almost can't afford to do everything you just said for terabytes and petabytes and all this. I'm not going to do it. But if I can leverage Ingram's Xvantage, it gives me a competitive advantage. And so what's the sort of persona of those partners that are really get that message?
So if you look at the channel or our partners and what we're doing in Ingram Micro, we have to move from an order taker to an order maker. Most of the channel is fulfilling orders. But what the industry needs is fulfillment of orders can be automated, but you need solutioning, consulting, bundling, going and asking your customers, what problem do you want to solve? How can we solve those? Because you can look at all the technology together. So the partners where the leaders are involved to look at their business holistically with the data of the Xvantage platform, the insights, and instructing their teams to use it in a way and exploring capabilities, knowing that they cannot invest themselves, even in the mid-market or the SMB. We have some enterprises also leaning in. That's where you see success. If you are asking your team, go and use the platform and give another distributor platform, you will not see much. Yes, there is some benefits you will see, but truly when you want to realize the power of the platform, it has to start with the leadership. It has to start with the C-level executives of the companies making a decision. I want to partner with a platform because I cannot invest in the AI and the insights. Let me look at that and use the platform to grow our business. That's where you see the most value coming in.
Yeah, so you think it's a you said transactional partner finding more challenge with what we're talking about here.
Correct.
Versus someone who might be a little more software-led or services-led, where they're like, this is great, right? I can maximize and take advantage of Xvantage in a way that I don't have to make those investments, right? And I can use it here. What would you say to those partners that are still a little resistant to go on this journey and saying like, what I'm doing now is working, like my clients are happy, but I feel like those clients, even SMBs, are going to want to go down this journey and they're not going to want to do it themselves as well. They're looking for partners to help them do this. So what would you give for advice of those partners that are still on the sidelines waiting?
Yeah. I mean, look, the platform can support transactions. That is day to day that we do, right? The idea is that the motion in the industry changing, the sales motion. Even if you look at cloud, AI, cyber, cloud is all intertwined. If you look at services, you buy a cloud, you need to have services. You buy hardware, you also need, subscriptions or cloud. We need to understand that as the sales motion is changing, the partners need to reimagine how they look approaching their business. Would you really focus on looking at hyperscalers, looking at services, or have a connectivity through a platform and do that? The second thing is we have something called as Xvantage integrations. Today, a partner works on multiple systems, switches. Today, we have an integration hub, almost like an app store, which can actually connect those integrations to our platform, which gives those integrations from months to minutes, like you have a CRM or CPQ. And the partner doesn't have to switch, and you can really build your efficiencies to the platform. I think we have to really look at it. The transaction part is fine, but how do you really grow your business together? And that mindset has to change. So my advice is pick one or two use cases. And that's always my advice in new technology. Think big, but act small. Take one or two use cases, experiment with the platform. If you can solve those problems, understand, and then iterate more and look at some of your complex problems and then use the platform.
Look, I've worked with Ingram for a long time, with Ingram Micro for a long time. And I'd say I always appreciate that what the role of distribution has played in this ecosystem, in the supply chain, right? In the moving of technology. It doesn't look anything like it looked 20 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago. So if I was going to ask anybody where I thought it would go, Sanjib, you'd be one of the first ones I would call and be like, where do you think it's going, right? If you could say, look, I feel like, because you're really pushing the envelope here, 3 to 5 years from now, where do you hope Xvantage and the platform and all that you're adding value in, where do you hope it goes?
It is not about just automation, right? The biggest mistake people think is platform is all automation. It's a combination of freeing up time for non-value add work so that we can invest that time in relationships with our partners to add more value. So, but with the evolve of AI and how technology is evolving, we need to use data and AI or agentic AI to make better decisions. And I see that happening in the industry right now where solutioning, bundling, the challenges about pricing, the challenges about matching, all that will evolve and change because technology is changing at a rapid pace. Technology consumption is changing quite a bit. So the distribution has to change as well. You cannot really have the same notion of an OEM to a distie to a reseller to end customer. That doesn't work that way. Everybody is going to everybody. So that aggregation through a platform that can scale and connect all the pieces of the ecosystem, in my opinion, is the future. And that's what we are trying. It doesn't mean we are perfect, but that is what we are trying to really help our partners get there together with us.
And I think there's another component to that, I would guess, is the partner to partner connection, right? Because what you just described, right? The OEM to distie to reseller, reseller to customer, right? Yeah. But along the way, I feel like there's more opportunity for partner to partner interaction and engagement. And it's been one of those things we've talked about for a really long time, but I've never really seen it scale. And maybe the marketplace is the way in which the platform is the way in which that will finally come to fruition.
Yeah, I think what happens is that the more you can actually get the technology and the platform working, you free up things, for example, from tracking calls. So now we are proactively reaching out our partners with some sales opportunities. The more you free up, it frees up the time for interaction engagement in the platform, both engaging with Ingram Micro and engaging with partners of Ingram Micro. For example, looking at solutions, insights, recommendations, communities of your partners. And the more you do that, we make more education for our partners to make the right decisions, how they can make their own businesses profitable and can go to market better. And that's the goal, right? You really, automate the repetitive things that they do to run their business and help them to be more cognitive, strategic and consultative approach for them to learn. And that's the way I see the platform operating more and more.
Thank you, Sanjib, for joining us as the opening track for our 6.5 Summit Ecosystems track. It was really a pleasure talking to you. Be sure to follow us on social and check out what's next at 65media.com/summit. We'll be back shortly with more.